Alright, and here is the video review for Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Megatron. This is his Revenge of the Fallen form in his little Cybertronian tank thing. He does not have the flying space jet tank, although he does have the turbines molded in back here. So I guess technically he does have the flying tank in. I don't know. I feel like this is off somehow, but it may just be the thickness of this arm, actually, now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, so here's his tank. He does have his little face here in the front. You can kind of obscure it with those pylons, but or you can kind of bring these down if you want to have just his face hanging out like, I'm gonna get you, which is ridiculous, but also fun. So I don't know, I like to gouge his eyes out and hide them. Anyway, his turrets, these two turrets on the side, not turrets, these two weapons on the side of the main tank body. He doesn't really have a turret. I mean, maybe this rotates, but it doesn't actually rotate on the toy. I'm not sure what the articulation was on the actual game model. Not game model, movie model. I've been sick all week and I'm on some decongestant, so I'm a little loopy. Just FYI. But here he is. You can see these can rotate up and down, and can get up to about, not quite, over 90 degrees, not quite all the way back. Facing backwards, but could certainly discourage some pursuers if need be. And this is a softer, it's not completely rubber, but it's a little softer plastic here on the front barrel here. Which raises, like I said, there's really no articulation. He's got a couple little rolly wheels here on the front and back of the treads, but the treads are non-movable. And that's about it. What you're seeing is basically what you get here with the tank mode. Now to transform, he has a couple of pieces that like to pop off. These kneecap covers here, actually they're not the kneecap, they're on the back of the calf. They're just friction pegged in here and not very well. I wish they'd put a pin through there because they just pop right off. And then like here also, these little panels are friction. This is a very tough kind of angled ratchet joint to flip this panel out, but this is just a friction pin where this panel connects, so these like to pop off as well. These are a little harder to pop off. These will fall off just by looking at them funny, which is a little bit of a shame. But so to transform, we'll go ahead and flatten the guns down just to get them a little less awkwardly out of the way. We untab the legs. There's a peg here that pegs in right up here, so untab the legs from the side, and then we will rotate them down like this, and rotate them around there at the upper leg swivel. And then this has a tab here that tabs into the bottom of the tread. You gotta, again, the panel itself is just frictioned onto this fairly strong ratchet here. So flip that around and tab that into the leg. It doesn't tap like lock in, but it does have a little place where it rests there on the leg. Same on this side. And again, it helps if you get underneath it and push right here and push that whole support piece around, and then just fold this down and around. Will help you prevent it from popping off. Then these pieces right here, you got to slide. There's a hinge here, a panel here that slides out, and that allows you to rotate these down. You can see how this slides in on that. You can slide this in and rotate it down. And once you rotated that down, you can lift these up to get them out of the way. I'll pull these panels out to the side. These panels rotate and fold up. Or at least rotate them up out of the way like this to get them freed there. This whole panel comes to the back of the leg like that. And then this panel comes down, bringing this to the inside of the foot. This comes down to the outside of the foot. This comes down behind to cover this little piece. And then the toe treads split. And it's the exact same on this side. So, see, like I said, it does not take much to pop these off. They pop right back on, thankfully, but yeah. Bring that down, bring this down, click it into place, fold it down, split the treads. Open like that. Lift this whole panel up, because this, all this tabs together in an odd way because of the asymmetry. There's a tab here up inside this panel that tabs into the back of the arm right there. So you get that up and lift this just kind of up and out of the way, and then the arms come out. This arm, if you're having trouble getting everything together, check to make sure there's a tab here on the front of the torso that tabs in to the bottom of this arm. And if you don't have that lined up right away, this will all sit a little awkwardly. You can see there's the tab right there, and here's the slot it tabs into on the arm. And again, one of these little back calf panels has popped off. So bring the arms out to the side. The hips come up into the body, like that. And then this whole assembly, you got several hinges here on the back. Right here by the thrusters, and up here, and then right here at the turret. And you want to fold this. This is going to come up onto the back, like this. And then the arms will tab into these two tabs here. Move these guns out of the way. These two tabs right here, the arms will peg onto. But before you do that, you need to fold this down. And you want to make sure that this little angled piece, it goes in there. You can see where the hinge is attached right there. And you want to make sure this goes in fold this in to the point where that goes in right above it. Otherwise, it'll push off to the side or it'll bend the tips of this. You want to make that go in there. Then fold this whole assembly up into the body like this. And then that should line up these tabs right here to tab together and lock the backpack in place. The head comes back, folds. It's got a ball joint, a hinge, and then another hinge up here. So you want to bring it forward at that hinge and then tap it down in. It doesn't lock in place. It looks like it's got a tab on the back. It looks like it should lock in back here, but it just doesn't for some reason. Unless you have to really, because it's gonna, so whatever. Bring it up so we can see. Oh, he died. He died it. So stand him up, bring his arm around, rotate this arm around, position the fingers properly, and he has an extra long claw that flips out from the bottom there. And again, these stupid friction pin things, like I said, it doesn't you push that wrong, grab it wrong from the front, it doesn't take much to pop these off. But there's Megatron in robot mode. He's got a nice movie head sculpt. Decent paint apps. I've seen some people custom paint him to look even cooler, and that's certainly a thing you can do. There's a lot of detail that doesn't quite pop in the gray plastic, but I think they've done a pretty good job of picking out enough detail, more so than a lot of previous Megatrons, to make him look nice and imposing here in robot mode. And again, this thing has come off. I don't like these calf panels at all. These are like the serious biggest drawback on what's otherwise a pretty fun toy. I love his tank mode with his face. And then again, you can rotate these up or down if you want to leave him sitting right up against his back, if you want to have him just pointing straight up. It's up to you. So he's got the ball joint at the head, swivels in both directions at the shoulders, bicep swivel on each side, elbows, no wrist swivel because he kind of doesn't really have wrists. I mean, his fingers are all kind of individual. This is one piece, and then this longer piece right here is one piece. You can fold the claw back up if you don't want that there. He does have a soft rubber claw on the inside, but it's fixed in place. It's not, it would be nice if they had a hinge maybe to open it up a little bit, but it's just there. Swivels in both directions at the hips, thigh swivel, knee joint there. A little bit of movement in the feet, but they get awkward if you start moving them out of the position where they lock into place. So yeah, a nice, it's actually a pretty decent representation of fun transformation. Like I said, I do dig the tank mode. It's quirky and fun. But that's about it for Megatron. Now, of course, we have the other studio series, so we'll compare them. First off, we'll just do them with Optimus, just to show the two of them side by side. I didn't feel like Megatron was that much larger than Optimus in the movies, but they are trying to make these mostly to scale, so maybe he was. I mean, I know he was bigger. I didn't realize he was quite that. I thought the whole reason they made Prime the long-nosed truck was so he could match Megatron, or at least be close. I know there was a slight size difference. I didn't realize it was quite this big. And, of course, with the fellow Decepticons that I have here, a whole bunch of grays, shades of gray. There's only about like 4 or 5 shades of gray here. There's not the whole 50 that I know to exist. But here he is with Starscream and Blackout. Again, Blackout gets a little bit of edge on the height just due to his backpack, but to the head, Megatron is the tallest of them. They look great together. Like, this is actually, like, I've had Starscream out in the living room with him. This is the first time I've actually pulled all three of them together in my own line of sight. And I've seen pictures, but again, for all the varying just grayness of the Decepticons, they look really nice together. So they're going to have to stay together on the shelf. But yeah, like I said, he's coming out now. Like, I'm looking forward to getting Brawl. I'm looking forward to Jazz and Lockdown. Jazz more than Lockdown, I think, but we'll see. I know the Power of the Primes Wave 3 Deluxes are showing up in several different places. I have not managed to snag those yet. So when we can, we'll get those, because I do want to complete Abominus. And I'm mostly looking forward to the Wave 3 Prime Masters. I think like Bludgeon and Bludgeon, okay, and Octopunch, but I really want that little Bludgeon. Anyway, there is Studio Series Voyager class Megatron. He is, if you're collecting the series, and apparently I am now, despite my intentions. Like I said, the three Decepticon guys look really nice together. And real quick, because I forgot to show it, he does also come with some of the forest diorama. You can have him. You can position this to display him if you wish. I have not been saving the boxes. I think it's neat that they included them, but like, it's not a necessary thing. I haven't been hanging on to them because I don't need more cardboard in this house. But yeah, just if you want to display him, like all the Studio Series figures, there he is with his forest diorama. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the one that Prime had or not. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong.